Hi there folks, my name's NovaWin24 and welcome to the NovaWrap, your one-stop location for your simulation release news and goings on from the week that was. So here we are on Sunday the 15th of September 2019 for another exciting episode, and we are going to jump straight into it this week with some ESP platform releases first this week, and starting with a prepared V4 exclusive release from Dino Cataneo and his India Foxteco Visual Simulations company. So after that, lots of word salad that I just spouted. What is that? Basically, India Foxteco is the payware sort of side of renowned freeware developer Dino Cataneo. And his latest release has been the TA4J Skyhawk. Now, this thing is, I've been keenly watching this. So the A4 was also affectionately known as the scooter. And it is one of my personal favorite aeroplanes of all time. I grew up watching an Australian drama series called Patrol Boat. And it featured at the time, the Australian Navy was flying A4 Skyhawks off the last carrier that they ever operated, HMAS Melbourne. So I've always had an affinity for the A4 Skyhawk, and as I said, when I saw this was coming out, he was producing this, I was like, yes, this is awesome. So what is this one? So this is the TA4, this is the two-seat trainer variant. Now, Dino's come through and gone through a really highly detailed work come through here, as his stuff always is. And going through absolutely exquisite 3D model, both interior and externally. He's gone through a lot of work with the flight dynamics, and a lot of just amazing stuff come through here, his stuff as well. He's also made sure that he's leveraged off the latest advances for prepared V4.4 and above, by including extensive usage of PBR as well to make it even more visually outstanding. Not only that, he's come through, although there's not a lot of avionics, some of the avionics in the A4 are actually quite advanced for the time. Like, it did actually have a sort of terrain sort of ground attack radar. And that's been modeled in incredibly in a high level of accuracy as well, along with the gun sight systems, and all of the aircraft systems have been modeled as well. Now, along with that as well, not only because it is a two-seat trainer variant, not only did Dino model the front seat, or the student pilot's seat, he also actually made sure that he leveraged, and he actually gave us a highly detailed instructor rear seat as well. So the pros, that's awesome work for anybody who wanted to do any two-seat flying. Don't know how two-seat flying works in the ESP platforms these days. It's been a hot minute since I've done a shared cockpit, but yeah, that's like, it's really cool that he's actually done that and given us that experience as well, so you can fly from the front or the rear. So along with that, you also have, as is customary for Dino as well, he's also included full support for VRS TACPack if you are a TACPack user, and if you do want to use the weapons functionality, you do have to have TACPack installed. Bit of a shame that he's dropped the SimSkunkWorks' Acme, which is sort of like which is basically a free version of TACPack. It's a shame that he's dropped he seems to have dropped support for that. I don't know if he has or not, but he definitely is not supported with this one, which is a bit of a shame. But anyway, so maybe Dino, maybe you can bring that along in the future update. That'd be cool, awesome. Anyway, otherwise, as I said, this aircraft looks absolutely exquisite, flies amazingly from the reports of all the beta testers. As I said, highly detailed rendition of the aircraft with a beautiful sound pack as well. You also get in 14 highly detailed liveries included, a variety of US Navy training and aggressor squadrons, Blue Angels, and Australian, Israeli, and Royal New Zealand Air Force liveries are also included. So you can pick this one available from Sim Market or your favorite flight sim retailer, coming in at around about $35 US, or your regional equivalent, available now. Continuing on with other ESP releases, and this time moving into so I almost actually called this edition of the NovaWrap the Ironman, or the Triathlon edition, because we're going to various places during this episode, of places which I've been eyeing off, and I happen to know the airports and locations because I'm eyeing off doing events at their locations in future years. Anyway, so Mex High Flight have released their latest airport, and it's definitely quite a fair way out of their comfort zone. Of course, it was Mex High Flight, obviously normally focusing on Latin America. They've released this time Marrakech International Airport, which, funny enough, is the main airport which services Marrakech, which is the capital city of Morocco. or capital city region for Morocco. And Marrakech is an absolutely beautiful coastal city that is a really big tourist destination for Morocco, and a big gateway for people coming into North Africa, and is serviced by a variety of European flights, as well as we're coming in they come for those, as well as Arab nations as well coming in and servicing, as well as various African ones. So they either come into Marrakech or they come into nearby Casablanca as well. So yeah, but yeah. So as I said, the reason why I know this airport is because actually when I was looking at flying into. So I had been considering doing. So there's an Ironman 70.3 event which is Kickstarter. This is the first year they're holding it. It's later this year in October, and myself and a friend of mine were eyeing it off for potentially doing it, but it's going to have to be in a future year for me. So this is the airport we were going to be flying into. So yeah, just interesting that was how it all worked. Anyway, otherwise stats about the actual airport. So as I said, highly detailed rendition of the airport as it appears in 2019. So it is an up-to-date layout. A full accurate rendition of all 3D models of all current airport buildings in at least 2K textures, it looked like as well. Correct and accurate ground markings, photoreal implemented for the airport and the surrounding region, which has also got hand-placed autogen custom points of interest for any visual flyers. A variety of custom static objects, and as well as a updated and accurate AFCAD and night textures and sort of night lighting and night textures as well. It's designed to be fully compatible with GSX, as also with Orbix's FDX Global and Global Vector. They also recommend that it is designed to be fully compatible with Orbix's HD trees, as well as a variety of free Africa photoreal scenery as well. So pretty cool that they've sort of gone through a fairly extensive list of options that can get it all together for. Now that one's coming in at a fairly reasonable price, coming in at about $22 US, or your original equivalent, available now from SimMarket. Continuing on with another airport release. Oh, sorry, that Mex High Flight one, that one is compatible with Prepared. That's Prepared V4 exclusive release only. Although it doesn't incorporate PBR texturing, it is designed to only work for Prepared V4. So just so you're aware of that. Right. Moving on to the next airport release, was the guys over at FSDG have been busy again, and this one is a release for the whole of the ESP platform range. So this one is for the island of Rhodes, of course, which is known as the Island of Knights. So it's one of the Aegean islands and the largest of the Dodecanese. I'm certain I've got that wrong. Which is this rendition of the Island of Rhodes includes both airports which are present on the island, including Degoras International Airport and the Malatissa Airport, which is a military airfield, which is not actually so much used as an airfield much anymore, but is primarily used for motorsport events. So there you go. Also, this one is up to date and accurate as it appears during 2019. And it gives you entire coverage of the entire island with high-resolution photoreal imagery, as well as custom mesh and autogen, as well as custom 3D models of all major landmarks, hotels, historic sites, solar power plants, olive plantations, wind generators, greenhouses, and more. So that's a pretty cool thing. And as I said, coming through with a lot of accuracy for good stuff, a lot of low and slow fires and helicopter pilots, especially, we go through and actually sort of see and experience that ground throughout there. Also includes updated night lighting, full implementation of PBR ground materials for if you are a Prepared V4 user, as well as updated lighting, airport lighting, including realistic runway rabbits as well, and a variety of animated ground traffic has been included as well. Fully compatible with all major add-ons, including GSX, UTX, FS Global, and Real World Greece. So this one's coming in. Now this one's a bit odd, this one. So now, for those who may not have caught it, recently FSDG decided that they would only be selling not only, but they would be primarily be selling their content to the European Union. If you are outside of the European Union, you have to wait. You can't buy it directly from their store. So if you're in the EU, you can buy it directly from the FSDG website, and that's coming in at about €30 or about $33. If you're outside of the Eurozone, though, like myself, then you have to wait for it to come onto the other flight sim retailers, so either Aerosoft or SimMarket, and for once it becomes available with them, hopefully we'll be seeing it for the same price, but unfortunately for those of us outside the Eurozone, we have to wait a bit longer. So, yes, anyway, hopefully it won't be too much longer. Because it does say it looks really, really good, and I love FSTG. It's a bit of a shame they chose to sort of go down that path of shopping, but anyway, this is what it is. But if you're in the Eurozone, you can go and experience this Greek gem straight away, available now from FSTG. Continuing on with other scenery releases, and again for the entire suite of ESP platforms, the guys over at BDO Aviation. So these guys are very quiet. You don't hear from them a lot, but they've been around since Pontius was a pilot, I swear. So these guys, their latest release is of Phuket International Airport, and I'm pretty sure this is their first release of content for Prepared V4. Now this one, funny enough, I know not from triathlon, but I know from actually having been to Thailand many years ago, and so this is Phuket International Airport, which is the main international airport, which is very much a tourist orientated airport, servicing the Phuket province of Thailand. Basically, that entire region is driven by tourism. Like, a lot of Thailand's income comes from the GDP comes from the income stream that this area generates, as it is it's a hugely popular resort destination for people around the world, and as such, it's the third busiest airport in Thailand in terms of passengers as well. So very highly detailed for that one. So, have they done a detailed job? I must say, I think they have. It's definitely, video have come a long way in the time they've been actually doing stuff. Now, this one, as I said, gives you is the airport layout as it is in 2019. All airport 3D, all airport buildings have been modelled in accurate 3D, including high detail 2K textures throughout, volumetric grass surrounding the photoreal of the airport and the surrounding area has been included as well. Custom made ground poly and custom terrain mesh for the area as well. Detailed terminal buildings, apron, taxiways and runways. Accurately placed taxiways and corrected to the area dynamic taxiway signs and other signs for the airport. Also includes dynamic shadowing for prepared V3 and 3V4 and dynamic lighting for V4 as well, and full support of SODE jetways out of the box as well. So a lot of bang for your buck coming here for about $20 US, or your original equivalent, available now from Sim Market. Moving on with more scenery releases for the ESP platforms. Actually, this time for Prepared V4 exclusive, this one. So, Orbix have come out with their latest cityscape, and this one is of Honolulu. So, for long-time viewers of this channel, you will know that I've got a long association with the Hawaiian Islands. And for those who also tuned into my personal vlog, you will know that my relationship with the Hawaiian Island chain has been somewhat tumultuous at times over my lifetime. So it's very interesting to see this one come out. So Cityscape Honolulu. It's not just Honolulu though, and this is where they're sort of using the term cityscape / mini region, with the fact that they're actually giving you the entire of the island of Oahu. So just a point. I always make this point because everybody gets confused when people talk about Hawaii, the island of Hawaii. They often actually think of this island. It's actually not. This is the island of Oahu. The island of Hawaii is also known as the Big Island, but a lot of the locals and those of us who spend a lot of time there get sick of trying to explain the difference. So we just call it the Big Island and we just let everybody else get away with it. Anyway, so just so you know, this is the island of Oahu that is covered with this one. Now, what do you get for your bank? What do you get for your money? Now, I've got to admit that for price-wise, it's pretty damn awesome. It's $30 for this, which is pretty damn awesome. Now, what do you get for that? You get a custom terrain mesh with super detailed terrain mesh for the entire island. You get custom curated photoreal imagery of the entire island. You've got over 20,000 unique custom buildings with hand-placed buildings, hand-placed vegetation, all your over 60 high detail points of interest, all with PBR as well. Sorry, all the things, all the 3D buildings, we've got PBR as well. Full implementation of custom night lighting, hand-colored photo reel. As I said, this is just insane. So, over 23,000 unique custom buildings, with over 90,000 complete custom-placed auto-gen buildings as well to make sure you bring it up as well. Ultra HD photo reel scenery included. All 8 Oahu airports, including Honolulu International, have all been included, including airports that are actually closed as well, which is kind of cool. And that's the other thing. So for those who might remember back, especially those who've been with me since the beginning of my channel, this is where I started. This is where the channel started. The channel started with Microsoft Flight and Hawaii. So it's really going to be interesting going back to it and actually seeing what it's like. And I'll be admit, and it's got, as I said, a mixture of photo real, custom landcast textures. So yeah, mixture of photo wheel, custom landcast, and all blended together. Actually stunning custom night lighting, vertical obstructions, including various wind turbines, antenna, radar antenna, because there's several operational military bases there, including Pearl Harbor, fully modeled, including all museums and relevant historical sites, including the Missouri, the Bowfin, and the USS Arizona Memorial are included as well, with a variety of helipads as well, with a variety of custom US Navy and Coast Guard ships in the harbor. Like, wow, there's so much stuff here. And as I said, it'd be very interesting for me because I spent a lot of time on Oahu, so it'll be very interesting for me. Both I've spent a lot of time on Oahu, both in real life and also in the sim. So it'll be very interesting for me going through and having a look through this, which I hope to have on the channel very soon. I must admit that the rendition of Diamond Head looks actually a lot more accurate than it is in the. I've had a look at the Mega Scenery Earth and even the Ultimate Terrain Mesh that I got for the region, and the Diamond Head just isn't correctly modeled. So, but it actually looks this way in the screenshots. So it'll be very interesting to see what it's like. So there's a lot in there for a lot of drivers, but for a lot of pilots, whether you're doing medium haul, whether you're doing low and slow, whether you're doing helicopters, GA, warbirds, there's a lot here for you. Do I have my concerns? Yes, I do, because my last review of a cityscape from a cityscape mini region from Orbix was not exactly positive, and that was when I looked at Gold Coast, because I felt that it was way overdone, and yeah, just not a balanced experience. So I'm very intrigued to see how they go and how they've moved on with this latest one for Cityscape Honolulu. But if I want to pick this one up, this one's available from the Orbix web store, coming in at about $30 US, or your original equivalent, available now from Orbix. Alrighty, moving out of the ESP platforms and moving into the world of X-Plane, starting with the guys over at Just Flight, releasing their rendition of the PA-38 Tomahawk for X-Plane 11. So, we saw this released a few weeks ago for the ESP platforms, and it's now made its way over onto X-Plane 11. Probably not going to go too much into it, because as I said, it's pretty much the same thing as well. So it's a very highly accurate detailed model of the PA-38 Tomahawk, which is a side-by-side two-seat trainer. 4K textures throughout, full implementation of PBR for X-Plane 11, fully interactive 3D cockpit, full set of avionics suites, including the GMA 340 audio, SL30, SL40 radios, GTX 328 transponder, and support for the Reality GTN 750 if you have it in your system. It does have, one thing that's interesting though is you do have the option of you have an active and interactive flashlight within a pop-up window, so it actually help you through a cold and dark start at night. That's kind of cool. I like that one. Otherwise, it's come through from the in-house development, Just Flight development team. They do GA and they do it well. So it looks like it's going to be pretty good. Full implementation support for the FMOD sound system, custom sounds for the engine, as well as all the switches, doors, warnings, and other things as well. Full modeling of the engine sounds, including Doppler affected by temperature and headphone simulation as well. Accurate and realistic flight dynamics as tested by real-world pilots, as well as off performance data, and custom weight and balancer manager window as well. So looking pretty cool. 10 deliveries included. As I said, it's pretty much the same as the ESP release, just over for X-Plane 11 coming in. It's pretty standard price for them, $42 US, or your regional equivalent, available now from Just Flight or your favorite flight sim retailer. Alright, continuing on with X-Plane 11 releases, but moving back onto the ground. And this is the next one in the list of sort of triathlon sort of places to go through. So this is the guys over at Vertical Sim Studios, their latest release this week, which is of Spokane International. So the guys at Vertical Sim have really been focusing on the more what do you call it? The more smaller airports, like the feeder airports. So maybe not where your mainline stuff that's coming from from Europe and landing is going to be in, but there's sort of the airports that are going to be major hubs within within the US and sort of maybe serving Canada or Mexico. So they continue on with this one with the release of Spokane. So the Spokane. Is in Washington State. And by the way, is just for those who are wondering, fully compatible with Orbix's True Earth Washington as well. And it's the primary airport that services the inner Northwest, which includes areas including Spokane and the Tri-Cities in eastern Washington, and as well as the big one for me is Coeur d'Alene in northern Idaho, which is another race which I've been eyeing off. A friend of mine has done it, and my partner is definitely trying to convince me to do it at some point in the near future. So yeah, again, another race on the list of things to do. Anyway, so yeah, it's very interesting for me. So this airport, what does it feature? This is a layout as it appears during at the start of 2019, so it's really, really good for that one. One of the things that's really interesting is that it has custom purchased and custom curated 4K 0.5, sort of 50 centimeter per pixel ortho imagery. That's nuts. I think that's actually more detailed than Orbix's True Earth Washington is in the HD, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, that's included and fully blended to actually, so it will just go straight in with, so we'll sort of blend seamlessly in with Orbix's True Earth Washington. Full support for the SAM's AutoGate system. Match it's a set of 3D grass done throughout, full ambient occlusion and photoreal texturing, full gate position support, full support for wall traffic 3 and live traffic as well, custom night lighting, and custom ground objects including static aircraft, pushback trucks, and interactive and active ground service equipment. So looking damn amazing, especially for the price tag as well, coming in at $20 or your original equivalent, available from the guys at Vertical Sims. Alright, continuing on with scenery releases for the X-Plane 11 work this week. The guys are at Aerosoft, continue with their airport releases, this time releasing their Geneva Airport rendition for X-Plane 11. So, funnily enough, it's the Swiss city of Geneva, and it's local airport, which is it's the first time they've modelled it for X-Plane 11. I don't even think they've actually got a don't even know if they've got a rendition of this for the ESP platforms, funny enough. This is the airport as it is laid out during 2019, including the updated Terminal 1 and Terminal 2, including a full implementation of the full taxiway network that can be used by either your aircraft, the ATC, or the in-sim ATC or AI aircraft as well. Full rendition of the airport and accurate 3D with high detail 3D models. Custom ortho imagery of 0.3 meters for the airport and surrounding area. A full custom terrain mesh for the airport, including the fact that it's not just sloped runways, you have sloped taxiways. So yeah, that's cool. That's awesome. Full native X-Plane ground service vehicles and ground support vehicle route as well, and a full set of custom static aircraft with glass and pavement reflections for all the buildings, and a volumetric grass and road network with animated cars. So a lot of cool stuff going on this one from the guys at X-Plane. Looking pretty impressive, this one coming in at $30 or your original equivalent, available now from Aerosoft. Alright, continuing on with X-Plane 11 releases, the guys at Tabaret have come out with their latest cityscape. So another cityscape coming out for this one. This time for Vienna. So this time they've done the full city of Vienna with custom objects, additional autogen objects, including custom hand placement, including variety of cranes, telephone masts, and points of interest throughout the city, including custom photoreal as well, which has been autogen has been blended into said photoreal for the airport. For the city, with all objects and buildings based on real-world data, positions, dimensions where possible. It also includes a full set of night lighting for the city as well. So we wanted to pick this one up to add to your X-Plane 11 experience. You're looking at about $16 or your original equivalent, available now from Sim Market. And rounding out the X-Plane 11 releases for this week with one that, quite frankly, I actually don't like. I'm just going to call it, I haven't tried it, but I don't like how they're justifying this. So this is from Orbix. So this is the US Washington Enhancement Pack. So as we know, recently Orbix released their True Earth Washington in both HD and SD. Um, which, if you like your photoreal and X-Plane 11, it's great and all that kind of stuff. Blah 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 blah. However, what this does is that this and those True Earth Washington uses customized autogen, customized points of interest, customized 3D models for major airports, major points of interest, tree modeling, and a variety of other things as well. This is an enhancement pack that what this does is this simply gives you. And I'm really struggling going through here as well, which is basically saying that it gives you better textures for your trees, and some additional 3D buildings for Seattle, for some of the airports in Seattle, and a free copy of a GA airport in the region. Yeah, I'm just gonna call this one and say, and look, it's $15, $10. Yeah, it's not like it's a huge amount of money. But at the same time, it's also it's as I said, it's like $10. It's not a huge amount of money, but at the same time, this is something that should have shipped with the HD, with the Washington True Earth Washington HD. Sorry, you shouldn't be having to pay for this separately. If you want the extra the farm strip, which by the way by itself retails for 12 Australian, which is 8 US. So basically you're buying the airfield, and for an extra $3 you're getting a HD upgrade of the entire region. I've got a problem with that. I just fundamentally do. I have no problem with buying the airstrip. No problem with Israel's farm. I've got no problem with that. And if you want to grab that, then absolutely. We've already announced it previously on the channel. But everything else, sorry, no, that should have been included with your HD, with your True Earth Washington HD. Sorry, just yeah. So that is money grubbing, and Orbix, sorry, you're better. Well, you should be better than that. So anyway, if you do want to enhance your True Earth experience in Washington State, you can pick this one up, as I said, from Orbix Direct, available now. Alrighty, moving out of the flight sim world and moving on to the racetrack this week with something very different, with the release of NASCAR Heat 4. Now, I got all dived up to delve into this and find out more about it, and there is sweet FA information available, which concerns me. Graphically, this thing looks great, but literally, it's like 4 lines in the about of this game. So all I can tell you is that it's the official video game of NASCAR, including licensing the cars, the drivers, and all the major sponsors. You've got a variety of tracks, including hard surface and dirt surfaces as well. Absolutely, and they are absolutely gorgeous looking graphics. How accurate the driving model is questionable, but I'm not sure. I'll hand it over to somebody who's an expert at driving games to chime in the comments down below that one. And it does have a career mode and a variety set of truck updates as they appear during the 2019 season. But I have 2 concerns over this. So the first one is that there was a stack of day one DLC, and 2 is that there's so little information about it. As I said, that's literally everything I could find about it. There's nothing. It's yeah, okay, just really light on details. Anyway, so the game itself costs you $50. It then has a season pass, which is for 4 pieces of DLC and a bonus playable driver, a legend driver, and that is an extra $40. If you choose not to get the season pass and you choose to get the paid packs separately, each of those packs separately, and which the first one dropped day one, which was additional 35 paint schemes for the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series, 10 new paint schemes for the NASCAR Xfinity Series, and 3 new challenges. That came in at $15 straight up. So yeah, it's kind of like it's just throwing so much money at it, and that's just. Yeah, part of me says it's disappointing, but it also seems to be very much standard practice these days. So, rightly or wrongly, it seems to be what it is. So, what's interesting though is that at least in Australia, the console edition of this, obviously this is I'm talking about the PC version, but the console edition of this actually ships with the season pass included. So that's really interesting as something to bear in mind. So yeah, kind of an interesting thing, an interesting way it was played there. So rightly or wrongly, that's how it is. So anyway, so if you want to pick this one up, NASCAR Heat 4 for your simulation experience, you can pick this one up on Steam, or you can pick it up for your favorite console, available now. Continuing on with car racing, and the guys over at Dirt Rally 2.0 released their latest rally location with their release of Greece. Ooh, wow, that was a bit of a tongue twister, wasn't it? So this is apparently one of the most grueling rally locations on any race calendar. Stages in Greece feature dusty roads and hidden rocks capable of severely damaging cars that cut corners too wide or run too wide in the wrong places. Dusty conditions can become an issue for drivers further down the running order. It's basically new track, very much a dirt orientated one, and accessible through My Team, Custom Championship, and time trial modes available for that one. This one's coming in standard price. The track's coming in at $4 regional equivalent, available now on Steam. Sticking with the Rhodes, but moving to something a bit more sedate, the guys at OMSI 2 released their latest add-on pack with the release of the Master Light pack, which is Master Light is a low-floor midi bus series of buses coming to life in 2010. It comes through with a variety of models. Now, this one comes with a variety of custom models through here. This one is out of the box, comes with a variety of ones. So it comes with the Master Line Master Lights 11.5 Daimler and Cummins variants. Daimler and Cummins variants in 11.5 meters, 10.8 meters. Then the Cummins variant in 10.2 and 11.5, and the another 11.5 version, and the Daimler in 9.6. And a variety of other ones that I'm not even going to go through here with different engine gearboxes. There's a stack of options coming through here. It also has a variety of. It also maps out a future release path as well, which is kind of cool and kind of interesting. As well as filling variety of custom pieces of equipment, including the custom ticket machine, rebus-based telematics, and opening engine-based steamed up windows, as well as coming through with a fully functional UK's ticketing machine. Oh, wow. I need coffee. Anyway, so yeah, 22 unique bus styles to this one coming through, looking pretty damn cool. This one, as I said, I'll be interested to see where it comes along the line with although there's a release sort of time, well, there's a release plan, there's no release dates for the other versions as they come out. So just in case of that one. As I said, looking pretty cool with the left hand, and right hand drive variants, hybrid, the hybrid variants, and hybrid electric vehicle option also being included with this one as well. So looking pretty cool. If you want to add this one to your OMSI 2 experience, you're looking at about $18 or your original equivalent, available now on Steam. Continuing on with public transportation, but moving on to the permanent way with the release this week of the Canadian National's SD70 locomotive. So this was a family of locomotives introduced to the Canadian system in the early to mid 1990s, with over 4,000 horsepower, driven by a 16-cylinder 710 G3B power plant. It's a notable use of its of a HTCR radial truck as part of its standard configuration, and this was but did incorporate a standard North American cab design, so it does in many ways look very much familiar to some of the other releases we've seen for other American routes. So the variety of railroads purchased the SD70, including U.S. Railroad Illinois Central. Otherwise, this one is modeled as it appears in the Canadian National livery. So this one comes through with looking at pretty cool, so very highly detailed rendition of the SD70 in the Canadian National livery. Includes both summer and winter textures as well. A full highly customized realistic cab with controls and operating features, including an accurate 3D modeling of all elements of the vehicle and accurate startup and shutdown systems. Also includes 2 career scenarios are included if you also have the Canadian National Peace River Route as well as being fully compatible with Steam Workshop systems as well. So if you wanted to pick this one up, you can add this one to your collection, coming in at $20 US, your original equivalent, available now on Steam. Moving from the permanent way and moving on to the football pitch with the release this week of eFootball PES 2020. I meant to look up what PES actually stands for, and I didn't, so apologies for that. But anyway, so PES 2020, basically it's you playing football, so EA Football, like by a new name, maybe? Anyway, so it comes through in 2 different versions, comes through in a Standard and Legend edition. Like, I know I report on these sport games, but I never know what I'm talking about with these sport games. I generally don't. It is officially licensed though by the by UEFA. So you actually have all the European clubs are actually all licensed and actually in here. Differences between the Legend and the Standard Edition basically is that you get an additional player. You get Ronaldinho in 2019 with his stats. You get him included with that, which is a bit concerning that he's not there because he's part of the league. But anyway, moving on. And a variety of what look like premium agent and contract renewal tickets, which basically look like this is also not an MMO, but I'm guessing they're sounding very much like a pay-to-win scenario here, which for a game that's got the price tag, the starting price tag of $60 for the base edition, and $90 for the Legend edition, the fact that you then got to do microtransactions to make it pay-to-win, that's concerning, like hugely concerning. So yeah, not cool, guys, not cool. If you're going to be charging that amount of money, then I expect a game that's complete out of the box. I should not be having to pay for microtransactions other than cosmetic enhancements. So, just saying. Anyway, if you're wanting that sporting experience, you can have that now via Steam or via your favorite console, available now. And in a very different simulation release, the guys over at Anno 1800 have released their latest DLC, the Botanic update. So, a bit of a kind of a small update, very much a cosmetic update. This one. So basically, this is the grow your city's attractiveness with a lush, beautiful botanical garden, allowing you to earn new items and rewards for as your floral masterpiece captivates tourists. You can also build a new bandstand and enjoy beloved tracks from previous Anno games inside your city. Kind of cool. As I said, like, the Anno series of games are always kind of cool. I still need to finish my playthrough of 2205. I still need to finish that at some point. I've got a save sitting there. I do need to finish it at some point. But anyway. But yeah, if you're an Anno 1800 player, you may be interested in this one. Price seems a little exy for such a base, very minimal expansion, looking at $8 US either from Steam or from Ubisoft if you've bought directly from them. Yeah, pick it up if you're so inclined. Probably would suggest that you would consider getting this one on sale. Anyway, alright, moving on. And rounding out the NovaWrap this week with something that's bit off the beaten track. So, The Sims 4, that incredible simulation game there where we try to do all sorts of nasty things to a virtual person, is out with its latest piece of DLC, The Realm of Magic. In typical Sims over-the-top style, they give you a new neighborhood where you go through a mysterious portal to a mystical alternate neighborhood where you can interact with familiars, cast spells on Sims around you, and concoct potions for friends and enemies. Basically, I think this is basically taking the piss out of the rebirth of the sort of obsession with the supernatural over the last sort of 15 years. And it's kind of cool, kind of interesting though at the same time. It'd be interesting to see how it goes through. Basically, it gives you new spells, new things to go through, including so you can actually become a very new. A new career path, becoming a wizard or a witch. You've also get access to a familiar, so an ethereal familiar, that will help you become the spellcaster you are destined to be. And you can also get a variety set of clothing packs as well. So this one's coming in kind of cool, kind of interesting. This one's coming in at $30 US or your original equivalent, available now from EA Games. And with that, folks, that does now round out that NovaWrap for this week. Thank you very much for joining me. Don't forget, as always, to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying these videos and want to see more. And, of course, as always, you can catch up with me and all the things I'm up to between videos by finding me on Facebook and on Twitter. Just search NovaWing24. Alright, folks, thanks very much for watching. Take care, safe skies to all, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.